the strangest Republican in the country. Now you're going to say, oh, come on, that's a tough title. Well, there's people like, of course, Michele Bachmann. Well, guess what? This guy, Alan Quist, in Minnesota, was Michele Bachmann's mentor. That's where she learned this stuff from. In fact, she once brought other legislators to pray over a gay colleague's death to make her ungay or whatever. Okay, and she learned this stuff from guys like Alan Quist. So let me tell you about him. He's a fascinating character. So Alan Quist used to be a one-time anti-sodomy crusader. Okay, so instantly we're having fun. Now I'm going to get back to that because I want to tell you at the end what he did to be an anti-sodomy crusader. But in the meanwhile, he believes that we coexisted with dinosaurs, obviously. He believes that the curriculum standards in Minnesota were totalitarian and that they were brainwashing and were going to lead to a United Nations takeover. And meanwhile, he also believes that abortion should be classified as a first-degree homicide. He believes there should be mandatory AIDS testing for obtaining a marriage license because he doesn't want gay AIDS spreading to straight people. How that would happen is entirely unclear, but that's why he wants the mandatory testing. And he believes that women are, quote, genetically predisposed to be subservient to men. How's that for fun? Okay. Now you're thinking, what an old crazy guy. There's one thing we know. This guy's certainly not going to win any kind of election, right? Well, you're right. He hasn't won an election in 25 years, except for last night. He just beat the guy who was favored in the Republican primary and will be running as a Republican candidate for United States Congress in the 1st District of Minnesota. He'll be running against Tim Walz, who is a 3-time Democratic congressman from there. So it ought to be a very fun race. But I'm just getting started on Alan Quist. At one point he said, in fact, this was from 1994, back when in the days when he was relevant. He's teaching the Michele Bachmanns of the world, etc. It's from the St. Petersburg time, referring to when he used to be a legislator in Minnesota. Quote, at one point, a Senate leader suggested he had an unhealthy preoccupation with sex, having devoted 30 hours to it in a single session. I want you to understand what that means. You know when they get up and speak, they speak in like 5-minute intervals, 15-minute intervals, etc. Over one session, he spoke for 30 hours. Oh, I tell you about sex. Let me tell you about sex. Oh, those gays. God, and their sodomy. Oh, God, I hate that. Let me tell you more about the sodomy. Okay, I'm a man got issues, but you think that's fun. Let's go back to the dinosaurs. He has a theory that they coexisted with men in the 11th century. Let's let him explain, quote, the only reasonable explanation for the Stegosaurus carved in stone on the wall of the Cambodian temple is that the artist had either seen a stegosaur or had seen other artworks of a stegosaur. Either way, people and stegosaurs were living at the same time. Has there been a better definition of cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs? But it gets better. Now, if you're going to be Michele Bachmann's mentor, you can't just stay with dinosaurs and humans coexisting. He also believes there is scientific evidence for dragons. So, I'm saving the best for last, but wait. There's a clip of him talking about what he would do if he got into office.
Could the House impeach the president? Yes. And I don't think, whoever the president is, I don't think they would like to be on the list of the third president to be impeached.
Would that be something you would propose?
I would not
amongst your fellows there.
I would not only propose it, I would argue it to the utmost of my ability.
Oh, of course he would. What are you going to impeach the president? But he's not defending the Defense of Marriage Act. I don't know. He didn't deport enough immigrants. Who cares? Let's impeach the son of a bitch. He got in trouble in 2009, and I'm amused by that because isn't his whole career trouble? But he got in trouble in 2009 for referring to President Obama as a power-hungry, arrogant black man. Interesting choice of words. And then Michele Bachmann, of course, has said that he is, quote, an intellectual firepower and courage that the rest of us should copy. Intellectual firepower. I love that. Maybe that's the fire coming out of the dragons. Now, the guy who used to run against him, Arne Carlson, really summarized it best. This was a Republican governor back in the day, right? But he thinks the party is now going so far to the right that this guy who used to be considered a lunatic, who Carlson beat by over 20 points in a primary, is now all of a sudden winning primaries and has gotten back in vogue in the insane Republican Party. And former Republican Governor Carlson says, unfortunately, what was bizarre in the 90s is becoming the centerpiece of this new Republican Party. And that's a former Republican governor. And I think that exactly nails it. I mean, there's lunatics all over the country, but this guy is now back in a power situation because the Republican Party has lost its mind, and when they lose their mind, they turn to a guy like Alan Quist. So, finally, what did he do in his anti-sodomy crusade? He decided that he would go undercover at adult bookstores and gay bathhouses in an effort to prove to local reporters that they'd become a haven for anal intercourse. Oh, no, of course, I gotta go way undercover. I mean, way undercover. And after the man is already inside me, then you'll know it's a haven for anal intercourse. I told you about these goddamn bathhouses. This lunatic is now the Republican candidate for a U.S. congressional seat. And what's even more shocking is that they think he has a chance to win. What have we become? How does this guy have any chance? He should lose by 80 points. This is the great miseducation of the American people. They have been fed so much propaganda that they can't even spot a lunatic. This guy believes he has scientific evidence for the book of Job. I mean, it goes on and on and on. He thinks that the curriculum in Minnesota is part of a UN takeover. He believes in the Hobbit homes like Ted Cruz does. He thinks that there's a plan for urbanization where they're going to put us in tiny little homes and take our suburban homes. I mean, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Republican candidate for U.S. Congress. Unreal.